Here we go.
14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Less than 2 out, well above the league average.
And he rockets this one to deep right field. Back goes Carroll at the wall. It's out of here. 3-run homer, Francisco Lindor. Nearly splashed it down to the pool. 7th home run of the year for Lindor. And it's 5-1 New York.
Never.
And what a beautiful bomb that was. And we'll be right back to talk about all that and a whole lot more right after this.
Put up the bunch.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome on into the Put It in the Book show, where I can't get my co-host on. Nope. Boom, there we go. What's going on, fellas? As always, I am Steve. Let's do a little round robin here. Keith, what's going on, sir?
Nothing, man.
I like your little nickname there thing there. I'm digging that.
Soto dropped a deuce again, double deuce actually. Oh, little movie reference for those of you who. If you know, you know. But doing good, man. Series win. Really nice win today. We did what we do. We wear out the starter and beat the crap out of the bullpen. Actually, we got the starter pretty good today too this time. But really good series win. Finished up 26 games in 27 days. Finally, we get a day off a week throughout this whole month. So it's you know, we survived. I think we were 16-10 in that stretch. So I mean, it's a little crazy, but yeah, doing good for sure.
All right, Keith. Rodriguez, what's going on? Good friend.
What's up, buddies? What's up, guys? We're doing well. We're pitching well again. I don't know about this whole we shit. Like, we're tired. Like, we played all these games. Let's just say that, you know, they've done a heck of a job. You know, emotionally, we probably have gone through it more than them. But physically, I think those guys need a few minutes. Unfortunately, you know, Soto's getting hot, man. Soto's getting hot. It's what I tell you guys today about our top three. Our top three are as good as anybody in the league. And when they're on, everybody, all they got to do is chip in every once in a while. You know, the rest of the lineup bats 250 will win a lot of games. I'm telling you. We're getting good, guys. And adversity is good for us.
It is.
What do you think, Farage?
It is definitely, because you got the Met fans that were puffing out their chest and saying, you know, we're going to win the World Series after that start, when we've seen what has happened before. So a little come down to earth little thing might be a little good for the team. No producer Joe today. No ratings up.
I don't know where he is. He's somewhere in the walls. I can't pull his fat ass out.
Let's jump right into what just happened with the Mets, and that's this most recent series with the Diamondbacks. Mets take 2 out of 3. As frustrating as yesterday's loss was, Mets do take 2 out of 3. That clip that you saw when we first opened was Lindor icing on the cake, which turned out to be a big deal. And with that home run, the splashdown near the pool. And then today, Juan Soto
Today.
with his second 2-home run game in a week.
What does Keith say they are? He did what? What did he do, Keith?
Drop the deuce.
Dropped the double deuce. Double
Double
deuce.
deuce.
Double deuce. Yep.
So I mean, opposing pitchers were like, oh, Soto's in a slump. Soto stinks. Soto's up. I think he's at 261 now, which I mean is nothing to write home about. But from where he came, his OPS now is up over 900. People.
Okay, but real quick, let me just say, you're not in a slump when your OPS is still in 800s. You're just not in a slump. He's just not doing the flashy stuff that everybody wants, but he's doing the stuff that helps us win. So that's slump crap. Get out of here. You want to see a slump? Go look at Nimmo, what he's been doing. That's a slump.
See, now he praised one of our guys. They threw the other guy under the bus.
I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm pointing out what's happening.
Under the
Poor
bus.
Nimmo.
I don't know where
he's
producer
hurt.
Joe keeps his bus sound, but I can't play it.
He keeps it up his butt. Go find it there.
Everything else.
That'd be a gross trip. But Keith is right. That's why you got the big three, Keith. For Soto to explode like that and drop a double.
You think it's a coincidence that Lindor's coming out so hot to start?
Oh, Lindor,
come on.
You got the polar bear is destroying everybody. Those top three guys, as good as it gets right now. And if they're all clicking, like I said, the McNeils, they just got to get a double once a game. With that kid Torrens, I mean, he's really given us a good tandem. Him and Alvarez, you can go with either one. And depending on who's hot, and who's not. The other guy gets 60%, the other guy gets 40% until you switch it up. Win the job. But it's a really great catching dilemma that we have with these two young guys. They can both hit, and Torrens is much better defensively, I think, than Alvarez. But Alvarez is getting up there, so it's gonna be fun to watch those two guys for the next few years. I hope they stay that way. It'll be fun. Torrens is a beast, dude.
We got from the Yankees.
He's a beast. Good. I hope that hurts even more. Skankies.
Oh, you want to talk
Not
really?
You, Tim. Everybody else.
Yeah. Really quick about the. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was just gonna say real quick with Torrens, the time that when he catches the ball to release to throw out a runner is tremendous. I mean, he's special in that sense.
He's much better than when you do that, Torrens. He gets a big Woody.
Speaking of when, because you said what you just said about the Yankees, and so since remember Pete was struggling last year and he hit that home run against the Brewers closer, who's now the new Yankees closer, who is actually now the ex-Yankees closer because he just lost his job for the time being because Pete broke him.
He's having a mental breakdown.
I like to continuously say that Pete Alonso broke that dude. Broken.
It's not a nice thing to say, though. Farace.
It's not nice.
I mean, admit the truth. Even for you, it's not a nice thing to say. You broke a man mentally, and
he did.
He's lost his whole career. Basically, he's lost his whole career. If can't be a closer, that's all he could ever do. So think about it. Pete Alonso killed his career and put his family in the poorhouse within 2 years.
Oh wow! Wow! Poor broke.
Poor broke Devin Yankees scum.
Can I interest you in a couple more videos?
No, thanks. No, don't even say it. No.
What? Let's watch.
Only two more.
Two more videos. Two more. Exactly. Two more. So he did it, and now I'm gonna drop the deuce.
He's gonna drop a deuce
too.
This is my favorite video.
Is me dropping the deuce?
Yeah. Oh God.
Let's take a look. This
so
absolute bomb.
And Soto gets under one to deep center field.
Oh.
Missed to the warning track near the wall, and it's out of here.
That was a bomb.
Soto hits it over the 25-foot yellow line in center field for his 6th home run of the year.
King in New York.
And he knew it. Because he hit it and he stood there. He hit it to the deepest part. He knew that thing was going somewhere.
But I have a question for you guys.
He hits the ball so hard, guys. think about if you see when he hits the ball and he really connects. Some of those things are not home runs because they're too straight. They're missiles. He hits the ball
Especially some of the
really
ones that he
hard.
hits to right field on a line.
On a line.
They're
He's
scared
the way
to catch the ball goes through the glove.
he's starting to wake up, and he's gonna stop being fooled, and he's gonna get hot, and the Mets better be ready because he could take them on a 20-5 win streak.
Yeah,
What
the Piazzi
was that the only time he had a home run today?
Was that?
Did he
hit two?
Did he do it again?
Oh,
Wait a second.
wow.
Did he?
The eighth, facing Soto. And Juan hits one out to left field. That's it well. Back
Yes,
goes
he
Gurriel.
did.
Takes a look, and it's out of here.
Oh, it's gone.
Soto within second of the game.
That was a shot.
I'm gonna say
Drive
something
the
that
other way for his
a term that I can't stand. Apo taco.
Apo taco.
I hate it.
Oh my god! All right.
Apo
What
taco.
a shot.
I wanna show you guys something.
Better
I'll
not
show
be
you guys
creepy. Better not be
Lord.
creepy.
nothing creepy, I promise.
Okay.
But let me get this popped up here. You're definitely gonna want to see this.
Don't make me tell your mother.
Let's pop this up. So Juan Soto, most multi-home run games before turning the age of 27, and he does not do this until after the season's over. So this entire season, he's 26 years old. Jimmy Fox with 26 of them things. Juan Soto just tied Mel Ott and Eddie Matthews. And for those of you a little bit younger, don't know who those folks are, go ahead and look them up. And also tied A-Rod for 25.
Why you got to bring him up?
I know he's on the list.
He cheated.
Sarah, yeah, let's cut him off the list. Sarah Lang, Slangs on Sports. Like that's a good name there. But so Juan Soto, for whatever anybody else ever wants to say about this guy, he's probably going to have the most multi-home run games of anybody before the age of 27.
That's
or
really
tied.
impressive.
He's a monster.
Yeah, I mean, I heard that.
And you know what else? He's a Met.
Gary called that stat out
He's
there
a
in the
Met.
game, and when he did, that was my first thought.
For the
This
next
kid's only
20 years.
He's only 26, and then when he put the stat after in the post game for SNY, and I saw those numbers you just flashed, and I was thinking to myself, he's only 26, and he's ours for a long time. He's going to crush that record. I mean, he is so consistent. I was looking at his stats, and he's just.
And there's a DH in the National League, dude. That's the best part.
And in such a different way. He's not that flashy. No, he just goes out there and does business, and he executes at the plate. He gets on base. He's old school in a lot of ways. He's old school because he also focuses on his walks and getting on base and taking pitches and recognizing pitches. A lot of these big time flashy players, they just kind of rely on their pure talent, and they get up there and they hack. Not this guy. This guy's
the last couple of times he took a walk. It almost looked like he stared at the pitcher and said, "You dumbass! You don't see who's batting behind me?"
Yeah,
what he's been doing.
Pretty much.
Which, remember that comment? Oh well, I had the best hitter in baseball playing behind me. Well, guess what? You just about have that again.
Mm-hmm. Not much of a fall off there. I know that guy's doing what he's doing, but
Judge is great.
He's there with him.
I didn't want to say his name.
Power at bat in every power category. He's right there with that other guy, fourth base.
Yeah,
he's right there with him. So we're doing very well, dude. We have a potentially really solid offense if the bottom of the order, picks it up every once in a while.
Pete got absolutely robbed of 2 extra base hits today.
Yeah, Suarez, he made some.
Eugenio Suarez,
dude, he made some really good plays, man. It's tough when it goes against us, but.
I was listening on the way home. Keith Rad was like, Pete got robbed by filthy, nasty leather.
Yeah,
he's always been a good third baseman. They never hit for any average, a lot of home runs.
Yeah,
did he have a 3 home run game?
Low average guy, but he hits a lot of home runs. And he's a little guy too. He hit mean, he's a solid player, man. I'd take him on
And
the
he
team
played in the
right
right
now.
markets. He played with Cincinnati
Yeah.
and he played with Seattle.
Maybe he's playing in markets that you don't get that much press and there's a lot less
Yeah.
pressure. Maybe going to New York will crack him.
Yeah.
Now he needs to go to Texas.
Stay over there in Seattle. The Knicks are down by 11 at the start of the second
Oh my
quarter.
God! Okay.
Huge! What a win the other night. I still can't breathe. Sorry.
Focus
All right,
before he goes
let's
down.
reel back in. I want to talk
Order in
about
the
I want to talk about a couple things here. One, injuries, but first thing I want to say is I know what's going on. Brandon
What
Nimmo
do
at the
you
plate after he hit the two home run game. He had a couple of other decent games, but he went 0 for his next 11. He is still sixth in all of baseball in hard hit percentage. The dude's luck has got to change at some point. Yeah, he's
will.
They'll
right?
drop.
Yeah, think of Lindor last year. Lindor was miserable in the beginning. Nimmo's not. He's slumping pretty bad. I wouldn't say miserable. He's still getting runs home and stuff, but he's slumping pretty bad.
I tell you, I would sit him for like the next month. He's so brittle. He's so freaking brittle. He's acting like
Rodriguez. We went through this in the preseason.
He couldn't even run today.
He was 155 games, 158 games.
Oh, how many games do we play?
He has 162.
They pay him for 162, so he's cheating the company.
Stop. Time clock fraud. What are you doing?
I love you, Nimmo. You are fantastic. You're a great ball player. You're one of my heroes. You're a good kid.
He is. He's pretty good.
He's a very good
guy.
kid.
He's gonna be a Met for life.
He better be. He better be. He represents us. He represents us very well.
Yeah, and I don't understand the criticism on his defense. I mean, when he's not crippled with his injuries, he's a great defender in the outfield. Even in center field, I think he did an amazing job.
He doesn't go back. He doesn't go back on the ball well. He doesn't go back on the ball as well as a true center fielder. He's a little stiff, so they play him a little deep, and he plays Gold Glove caliber center field. You got to know how to place the guy too.
I want to talk about we spoke about the consistency factor within the lineup, and just pulling up Mets averages and whatnot for the last 15 games. Juan Soto's at 308, slumping Juan Soto. His OPS during that period is 1,037. No big deal. He's slugging 615 slugging, 422 on base. Okay, Pete Alonso is at 294. Pete Alonso's on base percentage in the last 2 weeks, 446.
He's slumping.
Doing awful. Nimmo, slumping, 224, 3 home runs, 13 RBI. He actually leads the team in RBI because of that 9 RBI game. Just remember that. Knicks down by 7. Nimmo 304 on base. Lindor's at 263, 364 on base. Mark Vientos. See, we're looking at little splits here. He was off to an awful start. 288 in the last 2 weeks. Take it. 345 on base.
Everyone's getting
Francisco Alvarez 314.
What?
During that period.
Puerto Rico. What?
Tyrone Taylor, who talk about bottom of the lineup. These next two guys, Tyrone Taylor's at 308. A triples machine. He's got 3 triples already for the year. And then this person's gonna invoke a little bit more conversation. Acuña. Last 2 weeks, 324, 366 on base. And when I get to him, I want to pause for a second.
Play him.
Because a Mets legend, Knicks down by 5. A Mets legend.
All right, stop before Keith figures it out.
Sorry. Took to X or Instagram last night. A legendary shortstop for the New York Mets saying, please play Acuña every day. So Jose Reyes wants to see Acuña in the lineup every single day. Dude's exciting. He hits the ball from line to line. When he's on first base, I'm automatically assuming he's going to be on third within a moment's notice. And he provides excitement. And McNeil tweaked a little something today. You want to talk about fragile? take your attention off Nimmo and look at Squirrel.
Yeah, I mean,
how many
years,
golfers can really play baseball? I mean, let's talk about it.
he's been
They're
getting
fairly
hurt.
brittle.
Yeah,
He's been getting hurt frequently the last couple of years, but even more so.
When he signed that contract, as soon as he signed that contract, he got brittle.
It just looks like he's a little lost in general, even in the field. He before all that, he was a solid glove no matter what position he was playing. But he seems right now like he's just a little lost. Like he's not. He's just. I don't know. He's not engaged.
He needs to go out and hit a few balls at the golf course, and it'll straighten him right out. That's all he needs.
He hit second base really awkwardly, so I don't know what's going on. If it's a hyperextension or what's going on,
that was really weird.
It was a weird, like he missed, mistimed where he was running when he picked up the ball, or I don't know what happened.
But I'm talking even defensively at second base. He just
put him in the outfield and leave him there.
He seems a little more comfortable in the outfield, honestly. When he was playing left field, he seemed a lot more comfortable. But when he's at second base, he seems a little off.
Play Acuña. That's it.
So
what do you think?
He's definitely a better option.
You agree, right?
Well, Keith has said from. I mean, you wanted him over Beatty and everybody at the onset. The dude's shown nothing but excitement. I mean, Beatty is back up due to
no, and he's got 9 stolen bases. This kid's got more.
Yeah, he wreaks havoc. He wreaks havoc on the base.
The other options.
And then you can hit and run, and then you can, the pitcher is not focused. When Acuña is on first base or second base or even third base, the pitcher ain't focused. And by the time at that point in the lineup, you got to focus on Lindor and Soto and Pete at that point. How do you do it, Rodriguez? As a pitcher, like you get a guy like Acuña on base who's a total mess out there for you as a pitcher, and now you got to be like, okay, let me settle down. Don't worry about this insane speed and go after Lindor and then Soto and then Pete Alonso.
I'd have to focus on every pitch and with every batter that's coming up, man, because it's sick. You could throw, and nowadays with the rules that you can only throw twice to first base, and the next one has to be an out, otherwise he gets second base. Which is kind of ridiculous, but listen, it's different. You throw a couple of pitches to the batter, then you throw another pitch to first base. You throw a couple of pitches to the batter, you throw another one to first base. By that time, you should be able to get rid of the first batter. And otherwise the guy's gonna run on you. So it's better that let him run on you. Focus on Lindor not hitting it out. Focus on Soto not hitting a missile off your head, or Alonso hitting it so hard that it cracks your nuts. Things like that.
Nutcracker.
Yeah, Alonso's getting a little swagger too. Like when he hit that home run yesterday, you can see he's locked in, man, and it's a lot of fun to watch.
Well, every time he hits a home run or an extra base hit, which is all he does right now, he's hearing cha-ching, cha-ching, restructure.
I like Acuña in the bottom of the lineup.
He should be a man.
Yeah,
for life.
For life, yeah. I like Acuña in the bottom of the lineup. I like the way the bottom of the lineup is performing. They're really setting the table well for the top of the lineup when it flips around. The meat of the middle of the order, they need to start clicking a little better. They're coming around, your Vientos and stuff like that. But Acuña at the bottom of the lineup, and it's not because he doesn't perform, but like I said, I think he does a good job at helping to set the table for the big guys on the top when he lineup flips.
You gotta be prepared though with Tyrone, because Tyrone could go into a tank, right? And next thing you know,
he does that
200, and that's why he can never be a starting center fielder for most teams. He's like a replacement guy, but he's hot now, so you got to play him. I'd sit McNeil down for a little bit, let him rest up. I would sit Nimmo more. Also, I let him rest up, and keep and Tyrone, just play him out there while he's hot. Keep playing him every day.
He saves runs out there. Like
put Beatty out there. You could put Beatty out there. Beatty can play left field.
Do you remember once upon a time? I know we go back and forth to old times. Remember when our defense was just atrocious. Now look at our up the middle, which is strong suit, up the middle defense.
Absolutely, 100%. Francisco and Acuña, man. Those guys are fast as heck. They seem to be getting better together. Acuña got a lot to learn from Lindor, He'll make a mistake every now and again, but it's the mistake of youth. With Polar Bear at first base, Vientos plays an adequate, fairly a good third. He's got a gun. There's a good solid infield there, man. And these guys.
And Pete picks everything. Pete picks everything.
Pete is a very, very good at the pickup.
Picker upper
on first base.
And let's not forget
Pick it up.
At the scoop. What am I talking about? He knows how to scoop it.
Vientos was almost considered a hack at third, and he has some hiccups.
Yeah.
Like yesterday he had some hiccups, but he's got an arm on him, and he's starting to make those plays on the line and ranging left to right really well.
He'll get he'll get better. He'll get more seasoned. He'll be a good third baseman. I hope.
All right. Let's turn attention to some injured Mets. Minaya. He's thrown at 105 feet. He's progressing nicely.
Oh my God.
No issue with the rotation as it is right now. Let him come along nice and slowly. Frankie Montas. He is actually going to be heading out on a rehab assignment starting next week. He's got to get stretched out, obviously. Looking for an early June return for him. And he wasn't an exciting, flashy signing, right? But neither was Griffin Canning, and some of the other guys. I'm more confident now in a guy like Montas after what I've seen from the rest of the staff.
What's the most? I'm asking you guys this from your opinion. A quick off tangent thing. What's the most important thing that this whole pitching staff, pitching lab thing has done for these pitchers? What if you had to say one thing that these guys are kind of all alike? Because in my mind, there is one thing that these guys are all alike right now. Our pitching staff. What do you guys think it would be?
For me, it's the aggressiveness, and it's everybody.
Okay.
No nitpicking here, trying to squeeze the corner. Rely on your defense because the defense is tremendous. Just attack the strike zone, and that's what they've been doing. Raul Stanley.
Raul, what about you, Keith? What about the people out there? Answer the question too in the chat if you like.
For me, the biggest thing that I see them like as a group, there's a bunch, right? Because Hafner is all teaching them a certain way, but I think that the biggest thing is they don't get shook very easy. Like if something happens in an inning, they just keep attacking. Yeah. And I guess that goes back to what Farace said with the aggressiveness, but they do not get shook on the mound very easily, and their confidence level is very high, and they believe in their stuff. And it's all of them do, and it's so much fun to watch because every pitcher is slightly different. Some are extremely different, but I mean, it's I don't know if the stats, but I know they were, if not, they're still close to it, the best starting staff in baseball in terms of their ERA, runs given up. Home
runs given up. They don't give up home runs. They gave up one today. They just don't.
But listen,
I think it's more than double or less than half of the home runs that they've hit that they've given up.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Something like that.
You guys are weird. I'll be honest with you. It's a weird relationship we have here because Farace says aggressive, and Keith is saying that these guys don't get flustered. They have control. So in my mind, they have aggressive control. That's what this pitching staff has. They have very good control, but they're aggressive with it. They're coming after you, and they're making you swing the ball because, like you said, Farace, we have a real good defense. And that's how you put the pressure on the other team. As when you're playing defense, you play an offensive defense. You come after them, and that's how you do it. So when Minaya, or I wish producer Joe was here for this one.
Minaya,
there you go. It's his thing. And Montas come back. I expect them to be aggressively in control of every batter on every pitch. That's what I expect. So it's a good mantra for staff to have because pitchers want to do that. They just can't figure it out a lot of times. They pitch backwards. They pitch scared. They let the batter dictate the at bat. No, you got to come after the batter. You can throw it anywhere. There's so many places to throw the ball, and he doesn't know what you're going to do. So you really have the advantage if you're smart. or you try to have the advantage most of the time,
Right.
But you want your pitchers to be like that.
Half must do a lot of videotape watching with these pitchers because I think let's go to the videotape. He's dead, right?
Isn't he in Boca?
He is. He got arrested because he got drunk and ripped the sign
That is
off
in Plantation,
the
doesn't it?
55 community wall.
At the Villages? Was he at the Villages getting his Wookie on?
Probably. You never know.
Oh,
And his
he
Wookie
has a lot of videotape of that, Rodriguez.
I'm sure there's a lot. Let's go to the videotape. I'm sure he's got a whole
Instant replay, slow motion.
A back
announcer for the Knicks that got caught dressing up in women's clothes and
Marv Albert,
yeah, he pulled him off.
What are we talking about here? We've gone off subject. This is a Mets.
Well, I say the Knicks are down by 5. I get yelled at. People are slamming desks.
Oh my God!
Hey Stanley, what did you mean by the team have 2 hitting coaches?
They do.
Stanley says Terens is the best backup catcher in baseball.
Amen.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we're talking about.
And we got him from that other. They
seem to have a pretty good catcher themselves, so the guy's doing fairly well.
But in recent history, I don't remember a pitching coach coming to the mound as often as Hefner does. But I think he does. I think Hefner does his homework so well on the pitchers that he knows their stuff and he can see when they're off on something. He comes out and he's like, "Do this," because he knows how to get them back on track. And the pitcher's actually doing it, but our pitching coach is amazing at directing traffic.
Do that shit. Mendoza did that to him because he was a coward before Mendoza came and made him go out there and act like a pitching coach.
True. Well, and Keith, to your point, remember a few weeks ago he went out and he told whoever was it, McGill, who had lost completely, he'd thrown like 6 balls out of the zone in a row. He said, "Throw 2 sliders, you'll get it right back." He threw 2 sliders, and then his control was back. He knows his pitch.
Mendoza today from a certain angle, and he looked like Lutwin a little bit. I was like, "Wait,
wow."
Nice. All right. Last bit of injury news is Ronnie Mauricio moving on up to AA for his next step in his rehab assignment.
Very nice.
We talk about
hottie behind you.
Like there's a McNeil, there's a squirrel trade on the block coming.
Squirrel
or
buckshot
or a Beatty deal. If he continues to do well and they're making a decision, and baseball is a business.
Beatty still has options. They can still send him down.
He's got one option left.
Need to trade
one, right? Stanley said he's out of options, but I think he's one, right?
I have to double check.
We'll find out.
I was listening to one of the Mets broadcasters, and they were saying that if you're not in the minors for more than 20 games and you get called back up, it's not an option that's wasted. So if you play 10 games in the minors,
there you go.
Yeah, and you get called back up. I don't know. I have to.
Oh, is that why he conveniently had like a bad toe or something? Is that why he conveniently had a bad toe and didn't play another game in the minors until he just came back up?
Yeah, well,
that's a good catch, Keith.
He's out of options.
He's out of options. It's hit. You better hit.
Sure. There's no that 20-game rule doesn't stand.
It says Mets have used up his remaining options.
Well, Winker's out for a long time, right? So it's his chance. I like Beatty. I wish they could. He would start hitting his height. He'd be all right.
Well, he did. He was 6 for his last 18 when McNeil came back, and McNeil
took some time for him.
Did Mendy actually give a official comment on McNeil? What happened to him?
I didn't hear it.
Yeah, I know. I was just to the post game, but at that point, it was getting close to showtime, and I had things to do in the house. So, yeah, I guess we'll find out later.
Look at that
guy. Mets optimistic, saying nothing to worry about, which means he'll be back by the All-Star break.
There you go. All-Star break. It has All-Star break written all over it.
And
And
there, I mean,
Good Lord.
And it's only happening now, but am I the only one getting a little tired of McNeil? Not tired of him, but
Stop.
like,
Look at him. Look how he turns on him. Farace. Look, he turned on McNeil.
well, listen, as you said that, Keith, I pulled up an article because an article saying calls mount for Mets to make major Jeff McNeil move amid Diamondbacks game. And the first quote from one particular fan, I'm already sick of Jeff McNeil. And then you said that. I was like, are you sitting behind me watching me?
Who's the name? Who's the name of the fan? What's the name?
It just says one fan. It doesn't say who.
That's the one fan. It's right there. It's right there.
Oh, his name is Eric Minster.
I don't believe it. I think Keith lied. You know he'll lie.
Oh, somebody else responded to that saying the day Jeff McNeil returns is the day the losses started piling up.
Oh,
notice the Mets stop playing elite baseball once Jeff McNeil comes back. Get this guy out of here.
Oh man, I hope that doesn't happen. I like Squirrel. I don't want him to become that guy.
I mean, it was just 3 years ago. He was the batting champ. You know, I believe he can do it, but he's.
And 2 years ago, he signed the contract.
He's looking a little tired, like a little lethargic. You know, like he doesn't look like himself right now, and I don't know if that's because he's getting a little older, or he's just struggling with something, or what.
Smoking the weed, it's legal in New York. That's what he's doing.
Well, and he's changed his stance. His arms are further out than they've ever been, I think.
So that
he has a bigger circle now. He has a bigger circle.
Yeah, right.
like a golf club.
The way he slapped that triple to right center, reaching out for her, just grabbing a ball. That's the McNeil that won the batting title.
Thanks, Hervé.
Okay, now the McNeil that's we've had the last year and a half, he's just getting up there and hacking. That's not the McNeil we want. We want the guy to get some base so the big guys can knock him in. We don't need you to hack.
Well, he's always relied on his hitting. He's never walked. He's never been he's either gotten hit by a pitch or gotten a hit. He's never been a walk guy.
Yeah,
what's his lifetime average? What's his lifetime average? Farace, look it up.
288.
You know that for a fact, or you're lying?
No, I know that for a fact. 288.
288?
Yep.
That's good.
And his lifetime on base is 352.
So that's good, right? So he's not living up to it. Gotta go, yo.
Contract. Acuña.
Cut the squirrel. Cut the squirrel, put him in soup, whatever you Southerners do, you know, with squirrels.
Cut him. He deserves, based on his history, a chance, but I'm getting a little sick of it. He needs to step up already. You know.
He can't step up in the infield. He can't interfere with Acuña's development anymore.
The glove,
Acuña has to play.
The glove is annoying me more than anything else. You know, with our lineup, I as a fan can be patient in waiting for him to come around. But when he's not performing with the glove either, because that's the other thing about him too. He was very nifty with his glove, you know, wherever you put him, he figured it out. And like he just seems a little lost.
Infield, you got to come back a little fast. You know, maybe he's just feeling a little sluggish or whatever. But I'd put him in the outfield, and I definitely give Nimmo a lot more bench time just to keep him healthy, not because of anything. I think a healthy Nimmo will make us even better because, you know, he can rev up. I think he's trying to be a power guy this year, guys. I mean, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it looks like he's trying to go for that power shot.
What if he put him in the lineup?
Yeah, because of the lineup.
Because he's batting fifth, you know. They put him fourth or fifth sometimes. So he feels he has to. But he shouldn't, because his on base percentage and the fact that he gets a hit no matter what, that's what makes him Nimmo, you know. He doesn't need to hit a home run. And if this guy's on base, if he gets a hit, gets an RBI. I wish he wouldn't do that.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, you know, but to your point, giving him a little rest with Winker down, he can play a bunch of DH right now. He could play a bunch of DH. Yeah. And I like McNeil in left field.
He did DH today.
And even he doesn't even have to DH. He doesn't even have to DH. You have other guys there. What's the name? The other guy that does a DH for Winker. What's his name? Oh my God, Marte. He can DH. He's a solid hitter. That guy. He can go on a hitting streak and hit 300, 320 easily for the next 5 games if he gets hot. So you just throw him in there. You know, McNeil. needs to play to see if we're going to get rid of him or not, and Nimmo needs to sit so he could be a better player.
Well, and we have an off day tomorrow, so we'll see if McNeil's in the lineup on Friday. So, in what direction we take. Acuña needs to start every day, says Stanley, and Senga pitched a great game today. He battled big time, Senga, today. Last month.
He was pretty bad. He was pretty bad those first few innings. Let me tell you.
But we'll take 6 scoreless any time, no matter how you struggle to get through it.
You notice that he's a pitcher that relies on his form, repetition. His windup and everything, because he doesn't even look where he's throwing. I mean, if you guys notice, he's always looking to the dugout, like when he throws the ball. So it's like I have to have my mechanics perfect, otherwise it's going to be off. So that's why he was walking people. It was like so weird to watch.
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
It was
1.16 ERA over the last 3 starts. He continues to
he's
pitch
fantastic.
well and persevere.
And he's not on the injured list. Can you believe that? He's not wearing a T on his
Watch your mouth
on his hat.
He's
a traitor.
But and I think to all of our point in different ways earlier, it's his relentless. He's relentless. Like he'll walk him, but then he gets up there and he just battles it out. He trusts his defense. He throws some nasty pitches when he has to, and
that goes for
jams.
That's nasty. It just drops. That shit just drops, man.
It's better than Mike Scott's in the '80s. I'm just saying.
Mike Scott threw it hard. It was like really hard.
Mike Scott was nasty. Yes.
This guy just drops. I mean, Mike Scott would throw really hard and it would have a drop, but this guy just dies.
I just remember in '86 when we were in Houston, I could have sworn.
But he cut the ball. He cut the ball.
Yeah, he definitely scuffed the ball. Davey Johnson sends 20 balls over there and they don't do nothing about it. We still beat him. Get out of here. All right, let's day off tomorrow, fellas, and then we got a big series. Big series.
I put a little badge still on my ball. I do anything I can. I can't throw like you, kid.
What happened? What did he put on his ball?
No, it's from Major League.
Yeah.
I put a little jalapeno in my nose and a little snot.
All right. Day off tomorrow, and then we welcome in, not so welcoming, I hope, the Scrubbies out of Chicago, the first place Scrubbies. Cubs 22-16, Mets 24-14.
Right?
Yep. Best offense in baseball. Coming into Citi Field, where home field advantage is a real deal thing for the Mets so far. The place has been jumping. We talked about it in our group chat. 38,000 people there on a Tuesday and Wednesday night. This is going to be a weekend series against another first place team. And it should be fire.
Come on, should be nice. Should be a good series. What happened?
Cubbies should get a big draw at Citi Field.
Oh yeah. Well,
right. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking at weather. Looking at weather, guys. Friday, 95% chance of rain.
Oh, I blame you.
Might do a little play 2 over the weekend. But 2 days off with no Mets for 2 days in a row. Can't do it.
I feel like with Farace, there's nothing but rain and misery.
69 degrees on Saturday. I bring you better news there, and 76 on Sunday. So we get a nice little weekend of weather there.
Those are perfect.
We'll play 2.
Perfect days. Yeah. There you go.
Be more fun beating the Cubs twice in one day, Keith. That's what we got to look at it. All right, Friday night.
Twice.
I hate double.
Jameson Taillon for the Chicago Cubs. 2-1, 3.86 ERA against Clay Holmes. The guy, he can never be a starter. What are you guys doing? Mets don't know what they're doing. 4-1, a 2.95 ERA for Clay Holmes.
2.95
early on. Stinks. They don't know what they're doing on Saturday. They have no starter chosen. We have Mr. McGill, 3-2, 2.50 ERA.
Tyler.
That's what I say. Tyler should come after Holmes.
Yeah. Cowbell, huge win, big win. Double drop a deuce. Little Queen's action, little Soto. Bam. Sunday.
Another series win, Cowbell.
Sunday. Who the hell is this? Boyd. Matthew Boyd. for the Chicago Cubs. 3-2, a 2.75 ERA.
I think he's a rookie, right?
Is he a rookie? I feel like
they found him somewhere. I mean, he's
I
like,
feel like he played. Did he play for the Detroit at one point? I don't know. But 2.75 ERA. I don't know who he's faced before, but he's not faced Lindor, Soto, and Pete. In anybody that caliber.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
Yeah, he's not faced it.
Talk.
And that is a 12 o'clock start. We're going Roku that day. It's on Roku TV. Okay,
I have Roku. Excellent.
But against the worst pitcher in all of baseball last year, they're now 5-1. Griffin Canning, a 2.50 ERA.
He better be on his game. He better be on his game. Is all I gotta say.
What do we got here, fellas? 2 out of 3.
We can beat 2. We can take 2 out of 3 from them. I mean, we pitch well enough.
Keith, don't lean towards nothing else but 2 out of 3 or better. Don't do it.
I mean, no.
No, up front I'll say 2 out of 3. But just to add to that, I'm saying that mostly right now because we're at home, so I think we have the edge. If we were in Wrigley, I would have to really think about that because this team is good. I'm really curious to see how we match up against them. I'm really looking forward to the season because I think this is a potential playoff situation. Or
that's poop and milk. That's what that noise is.
I think it's a potential playoff situation, and I'm really curious to see how the two teams match up.
And that asshole plays for the Cubs. That we traded away
for October.
Pete Crow. Who cares about Pete Crow? Honestly, who cares?
Stupid Javi Baez.
Yeah, we got Javi Baez out of that. Who cares?
Useless bastard.
It was. Listen, it's done and over with. And Javi Baez is pretty much in retirement right now. So, they made a mistake.
Actually, I think he got a game-winning home run the other day. I think he's batting like 300.
Oh, my God.
Listen.
It just makes it work. At least he'll play for my Puerto Rico team. At least he'll play for Puerto Rico. In the WBC.
Here's millions of dollars to suck. No problem.
All right, well.
He hit pretty good for us.
He hit 292 with the Mets. And then he went to Detroit and lost it. Yeah.
But that contract, he got a nice contract, and he
292 is pretty good these days, and he hit like 20 home runs, right, Farace?
Yeah,
he was just a jerk off. He had that whole personality thing.
He corrupted Lindor a little bit too.
He did. He did. They needed to get rid of him. If anything, for that. After that, Lindor turned into the superstar he is now. When Baez left,
wouldn't change a thing. Wouldn't change a thing about what.
Gotta go, Baez.
All right, after the Cubs leave town, Pittsburgh comes to town, and Pittsburgh just not having a good year. Be nice about it. 12-26.
Good.
So that should deserve a little stomping. Their run differential is -57. Ours is +59. It adds up.
Yeah, we should stomp them.
That's a sweep.
Take 3 out of.
Sweep.
We should sweep them, regardless of what anybody says.
Keith, I'm saying 4 out of 3.
You're saying 4 out of 3?
Yeah.
That's a good job.
I can see that.
Who was your math teacher and what school did you go to? I need to speak.
Mrs. Crabtree from the Little Rascals.
Yeah,
she never paid attention. But she was hot.
She passed her stupidity on to you, sir.
You said too, right?
Wow. Yeah, pretty hot though.
I think the Mets have been doing a really good job at taking care of the teams they should be taking care of, and we're going to sweep that series. We're going to win 3 out of 3.
All right, so that's a 5-1 homestand, is what I'm hearing from the three of us.
That's being a Mets fan. Being more truthful. We'll talk about that offline.
All right, and then we'll get into this next week. But I alluded to this a few weeks ago, and this stretch that's going to be coming up after the Pirates series. And the Cubs series is a tough one in and of itself. Then after the Pirates series, it's 3 at Yankee Stadium. It's 3 at Fenway Park. Then a day off, then at home to play the Dodgers, who lost to the Marlins last night. So,
right. Marlins are pesky. I hate to say it, the Marlins. Well,
we're more than pesky. Okay,
pesky teams. You can't count them out of a game.
Pesky. Peskies up for bugs. I don't care what they say. We need to stomp them. We need to stomp everybody, especially but winning in New York, winning at Yankee Stadium and Fenway. It's tough places to win at.
We swept them
I
last
cannot
year,
wait
didn't we?
to see Lindor and Soto tee off on the Yankee porch. As we
Well,
just
that I would love this dude.
The Yankees don't worry me. Their
Oh,
starting
man.
pitching is and Soto knows how to hit there. He loves that porch, and Lindor is going to take advantage of it.
Now that you
Lindor hit
said
three
that,
home runs
Keith,
against the Yankees.
was out there, by the way.
Keith, now that you said that, Soto, tell me if you agree with this. I know you're probably watching this really, really deep, Keith. Doesn't Soto do better when they boom? Doesn't it seem like his game gets even better? Like he just proves whatever they're doing to him wrong, whatever they're saying to him, he proves them all wrong because they were booing the heck out of him. And he just looked so focused, man, when he hit those 2 home runs today. They were such shots.
Yeah, I agree. He's a super competitor, and I think when he gets booed, his approach is still professional. He still gets up there, but he'll start doing that smirking. Hopefully, we see some shuffling.
Keith wants to start a fight.
He's
That's
very confident in his ability, and I think when he gets booed, he wants to go up there and exhibit that confidence and perform, and that's exactly. I don't know if they're going to boo him at Yankee Stadium.
You don't know if they're going to boo him.
Yankee fans are going to boo the shit out of him.
What?
But I think he's gonna. I think he's gonna kill it in Yankee Stadium because I think he received a lot of criticism from the Yankee fans and all the nonsense from the press, and I think he's gonna get up there and I think he's just gonna kick some ass. I think we're gonna see at least 2 or 3 home runs in that series alone.
I think so.
What's he got? 7 now, right?
7, yeah.
And we're in the first week, so what are we? A month and a half in.
Lindor has 7. Pete has
7.
8.
Pete has like 8 or 9.
Pete has 9.
I mean, by the end of May, he could end up with 14 home runs, right, Soto? So you're talking about 14 home runs in June.
Yeah, and Pete could be even more than that.
Yeah,
you could even have more than that. Exactly.
Yeah, I think the Yankees starting pitching is going to have a really hard time, and their bullpen is going to have a really hard time with our top 3.
What about Clay Holmes pitching against them? Oh man, that would be nasty.
Ooh.
Does Clay Holmes get it?
6 shutout innings.
Face them? Does he face them? You think?
I don't know.
That would be interesting.
Holmes pitches that second game against the Cubs, right? No, the third game against the Cubs. 1, 2, 3. Either way, he's going to pitch against the Yankees, either Friday or Saturday.
So imagine that. That's going to be something. That's
6
gonna be a really
scoreless.
good game.
2 bombs from Soto.
Our starters have to go into the 6th inning. They have to start going into the 6th and the 7th inning. They have to because they're wearing down our bullpen and it's starting to show. You guys know that. You guys seen that again.
Yeah.
And if they don't go 6 and 7, you gotta let Senga go 6. You gotta let him go 7. He's your ace. He should be able to go 7 if he's your freaking ace. And Budo can do the 8th, and then you leave it to any of the other schmuck for 1 inning.
I think Mendy has a philosophy. I think he's stretching them out a little bit.
He has to.
Yeah.
He has to. Otherwise, it's gonna cost us down the stretch. Sorry.
Stretch. You put Dominic's. Yeah, there you go. The Yankee fans are already saying he's a bum. They're glad he's gone.
Dude, it's gonna be rough.
Saying that's so stupid. Listen, anybody who's glad Soto is off your team, you're dumb.
It's dumb, right?
It is
dumb.
Hey, I would not want to have this future Hall of Famer.
Say, I'm glad he's gone. That's dumb. That's stupid. I mean,
current living Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Kidding me?
We should do that. Living Hall of Famers. Playing Hall of Famers. Then the schedule does lighten up with the White Sox and the Rockies after that at home. So that's a thing there. And then at the start of June, and we'll get to that, Producer Joe's going to blame me about this, but they do play the Dodgers a 4-game set Monday through Thursday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday are 10-10 starts, okay? I don't make the rules. I apologize.
All right.
My bad.
Wait till Producer Joe finds out.
All right, let's do one more little segment here, one that we have not done in a very long time. and we're bringing it back. And for me, I don't know if it was going to be my turn. I just took it, and it was the reason why is because it's an anniversary, and we can all celebrate this and make it the Mets moment of the week.
We're doing Mets moment of the week again.
Mets moment of the week.
Okay.
And guess what it is? We're all going to watch it. And we're all going to enjoy this beautiful moment on this date in New York Mets history.
Malone looking for his first hit of the year. He drives one deep left field. That goes Upton. Back near the wall. It's out of here. Bartolo has done it. The impossible has happened.
What an absolute
Even
the
that
impossible has
The team
happened.
vacates the dugout as Bartolo takes the long trot. His first career home run. And there will be nobody in the dugout
big,
to greet
sexy
him.
baby.
first and last career home run.
This is one of the great moments in the history of baseball. Bartolo has gone deep.
I want to say that was one of the longest home run shots I've ever seen, but I think that's how fast he runs.
Plawecki. Look at these names.
Flood up the tunnel and give him his just
There goes Granderson.
his
Oh my God.
226th career at bat. You knew if he ever made
Wilmer.
contact in just the right way, he was strong enough to do it. And now
Cabrera was a
Wow.
good Met, I have to say. As Dribble Cabrera,
Dude, he's mental. Dribble Cabrera was mental. He had a mental breakdown. You seen what he did in the like Spanish league or something? He attacked this dude. Dude's lost his mind, and he was very aggressive when he was with the Mets.
I think that's what I liked about him. He was a little aggressive.
Excuse me, can we celebrate Bartolo a little bit on this?
Oh, we went off the tangent. Yeah, we went off the.
Sorry, I just
Sorry
saw
about that.
Hey, Bartolo's
forgot
home
you-
run. So
we
let's
forgot
talk
you
about
were
his
there,
Dribble
Farace.
Cabrera.
I saw it was a question posed to who's the guy that just hit the home run, and they asked him.
Colon?
Yeah, I'm kidding. So they asked him like, "Who's your favorite team?" and all this and that, and he said, "Well, Cleveland because they drafted me and gave me the chance." But I think the best and most fun I've ever had playing baseball was the New York Mets.
Right.
Didn't he say they have my heart or something like
They
that?
have my heart.
You're right. Basically, yeah. So he's a Met for life. He's an icon for life.
He
For
didn't play
life.
for the Mets for a long
Easily.
time, but he is a Met for life.
I love
Good
He's
Watch
going
watching.
to old timers game. Bring him on to the old timers day.
Dude, the behind the back just makes him legend.
I was there for that. It was
So
great.
look at that. See that?
Why you get mad at me?
Why you gotta make it? Why you gotta make it about you, Farace?
Sorry.
We're
Yeah,
talking
really.
about Bartolo
Sorry.
Colon. See, Keith,
Yeah.
he reprimands us for talking
Hey,
about
as Dribble hit that
Asdrubal
big
Cabrera.
home run, game-winning home run against the Phillies. I
Really?
don't know if it was. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah. Nice way to change the subject. You're such
Yeah,
a
all right.
Farace.
Rodriguez went black.
I went black. I think I'm lost.
Well, we hope you come back. Not like how the
Yeah.
saying
Yeah,
goes.
Yeah, Bartolo.
Sexy.
One thing. I mean, there's a lot of things, right? But one thing, just to
Be
point
so
out real
weird,
quick,
Farace.
that I really loved about Bartolo was he had a childish love for the game, like a little kid growing up. Like when he didn't know what to do on a mound, he'd get off the mound and he would just toss the ball to
Toss the
himself. And, it was like he had a real kid-like love for what he was
It's
doing.
just
And
Be in
basic.
trouble with the pitch clock. Be in trouble with the pitch clock.
Oh, he'd be done. He'd be done.
Even tossing the ball up midair.
Oh,
Here comes the umpire.
He wouldn't make it
go.
to the rubber. He would get like 3 balls before he got.
He'd
his
probably exactly, but he would do it. He would dare them. Let's start with a 3-ball. And man,
Yeah, but
remember
you know what?
his movement, just the movement on those slow 88 mile an hour.
They
would
move to
dart
the
in,
sides,
the two-steamer.
dart in, dart out. Yep, and drop down. So it would benefit him, the clock, to be honest with you, because he would get on the mound and just throw those little balls or those strikes on the
No, he'd get
lower
exhausted.
corners.
He wouldn't be able to
Forget
make it.
about it.
He could keep pace.
He probably have a heart attack after the first inning.
He would step off, throw out the first base with nobody on.
You know,
to catch a
maybe he
breather.
lose a couple of pounds.
A couple.
Hey, but in all seriousness, I know we joke around and he's fun Met, but that's a career. That's a hell. He started off in
He's
Cleveland
a heck of a
throwing
player.
200 miles an hour, and then became not that player anymore. He had the little issue with the stuff, and
The blood work.
Mm.
Say it, Farace. You know it was true.
he reinvented himself, and then he becomes this soft tossing, as high energy as you could possibly get. Hey, let me just toss this behind the back. My helmet falls off every single time. I become a fan favorite instantly. You know how many times did his helmet fall off when he's swinging the bat?
Bartolo Colon played
Definitely a
for
fun match.
21 seasons. He threw 3,461.2 innings.
Salute to you, Mr. Colon.
3,000 innings.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Especially
with somebody else's blood in your arms.
Yeah, and when he was 42 years old, he threw 194 innings for the Mets at 42 years old.
Dude, I threw 3,000 innings in the freaking rec ball league.
Why are you making this about
I know
you,
how
Rodriguez?
he feels. Because it is.
No, I'm on Rodriguez's side. We can talk about Asdrubal. We can talk about what Rodriguez does. So, yeah.
Wait, are you lumping Rodriguez and Asdrubal in the same category then?
Yeah.
In the same category in terms of we can talk about it.
No.
He allows it. You see how he is? He's a good guy, unlike you, Farace.
Yeah.
It's all about
all
you.
Right. On that note, let's wrap this bad boy up, fellas. Keith, what you got here on the way out here?
Go.
Besides dropping a deuce, of course.
Again?
You know, baseball is ebbs and flows, right? So we did really good in the beginning, and it's helping us stay in first place during this period of where we're losing some games. So everybody just chill out, come down, enjoy the ride. This is a great team. And that's what baseball is through this long season. Even batters who are struggling, and you get frustrated with, like me with Nimmo. It's a long season. You know, they can come back and just play amazing for 3 months and all the stats level out. The back of the baseball card don't lie. The Mets are a great team. I'm looking forward to seeing where we end up at the end of the season. I would love to win a National League East. Let's go, Mets. Let's win 5 out of the next 6, and we'll see you guys on Thursday.
Yes, sir. Rodriguez.
Listen, Keith, from your mouth to God's ears, because great teams win championships, okay? So if what you're saying is true, you know, they will win a championship this year because a great team does that. I think they're a really, really good team. And with the coming back of I wish producer Joe was here, Manaya and Montes, hopefully they come back to their average, their ability. We could have a really formidable pitching staff and a really good offense because we can bring guys up. You know, there's a couple of guys on the minors that are just basically ready. Mauricio with a couple of weeks, you know, playing in the minors again, he'll be ready to come up. You know, Jet Williams, all these guys, they'll be ready. You know, with Acuña, we can replace the offense, and we're gonna add to the pitching staff, and that'll help the bullpen a lot. We're in a good position, guys. You know, even though we have a lot of guys that are kind of hurt, we can replenish them. And David Stearns, you've done a great job. So let's go Mets. Great teams win World Series. Hope Keith is right.
Yes, sir. On my way out here, I want to remind everybody what Keith just said. Somebody could be struggling right now. Remember how we were killing, or some people were killing, and I'm not just pointing one person out here, killing Lindor early on in the year. He had those 4 errors through the first 16 games, and and as Keith Hernandez said that night, he said he might not make an error the rest of the season, and he hasn't so far. He's since Keith DFA'd his glove, we've made that switch out. And we made that adjustment, and we're all good now.
See that? So all he needed was a push. All he needed was a push, right?
A push from Keith. That's it. That's all it takes.
That's it.
All right. That does it for us this week on the Put It in the Book show. We appreciate you watching. We did not miss producer Joe. Yes, Keith. Keith, yes.
Quick. Cubs, bats, best offense in baseball. Fuck a tie. Now I'm good.
It's good recovery. Good recovery. All right, so
he meant
that
to
does
do
it.
that.
Yeah, it
He
was.
meant
Yeah,
to do that.
meant to do it. Knicks are down by 12. Thanks, thanks,
Stop.
William.
Nice way to
Appreciate
end
you
the show.
watching. That's sorry.
Thank you for
Keith, come
watching.
back. Don't worry about the Knicks. All right, we'll keep you updated on what's going on in the Facebook group. Although I am not happy with Facebook these days, but that's another story.
God.
Peace out, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week.
Later.
Put it in the box.